You guys have been asking for it, man. And finally, I have delivered. Courtesy of ProWrestlingTees.com, you can now own the official WWE Off The Script t-shirt. And to get yours today, all you got to do is simply go to www.ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript, and you now can represent the #1 fucking source for all WWE right here on YouTube.com. www.ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Script. And remember, hashtag fuck those other guys, man. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and it's Battleground Sunday. Here we go, guys. Lesnar, Rollins, WWE Championship with the rumored Undertaker making his return to the WWE. It's going to make for quite the eventful evening tonight on the WWE Network. And I want you guys to remember that tonight, as soon as the pay-per-view goes off the air, make sure you tune into my channel around 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time for the official WWE Battleground 2015 review and results, man. We're going to talk about it in depth, and there is no time limit, man. There's no restrictions. I'm going to be live, uncensored, for as long as I want, man. Going to be fucking great. Now, actually, I'm glad you guys enjoy the longer off-the-script episodes where I just go in depth and talk about it, and I take my time. There's no rush. I'm glad you guys enjoy that, man. Off the Script is easily my favorite series on my channel, and I'm glad you guys think so as well. Thank you for all the love and support over the past weekend, man. This has been unbelievable. Getting you guys ready the best that I can for Battleground, whether it's Off the Script, whether it's match simulations for 2K15 with all the big matches happening at Battleground, man. I'm giving you guys everything I got this weekend, fully locked and loaded, and I'm making that huge push towards 30,000 subscribers, man. It's going to happen this weekend. It's going to happen with Battleground. I just have a feeling. So thank you to each and every one of you who is Team JD. If you guys want to represent Team JD, www.ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Script for your official JD merchandise for Off The Script. And if you guys are not following me on Twitter, you need to do that right now, man, because I'll be tweeting all fucking day, all night with Battleground, man. Make sure to tweet at me and with me at JD from NY 206. Now, you guys know this is the #1 source, the #1 fucking source for WWE news and rumors right here on YouTube.com. This is going to be another big episode, guys. I got huge news on Daniel Bryan. This comes right from Daniel Bryan himself. Now, there seems to be a mix-up here with Daniel Bryan. A lot of people continue to say his career is over. Daniel Bryan will never step foot in a WWE ring again. He will never be the same again. There was actually a news article which you guys were tweeting at me all weekend. If you guys see anything, okay, not only this Daniel Bryan story, but if you guys see anything that you think I might find interesting to cover here on Off The Script, all you gotta do is tweet me, man. I always look at everything, I see everything, and certainly this is something that caught my eye, thanks to many of you who follow me on Twitter. Then I went into it a little bit deeper, and I seen that there was a legit story about Daniel Bryan, claiming that his time is over in the WWE. Now, I believe he went on a classic rock station. I don't know where it was, but he stated that his time in WWE is pretty much over, all right? So former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan claims this report now about his time being over in the WWE is fake, and he never did such an interview, all right? There were many, many dirt sheets that had noted several reports also from fans and Reddit users that claimed Daniel Bryan appeared on the classic rock station 92.7 KGHO station in his hometown of Aberdeen, Washington, and said that his time in WWE is over and it's time for fans to move on. As previously noted, Bryan has been dealing with injuries and side effects that are reportedly the result of a severe concussion. While WWE has tried to keep Bryan's condition under wraps, due to the lawsuits currently facing the company in regards to their extreme brutality and recklessness when it comes to head injuries. It has long been reported that Bryan is out due to complications from the last concussion he suffered at the hands of Sheamus, just 2 nights removed from WrestleMania 31 during a set of SmackDown tapings. Bryan got stitched up from the blast that he took from Sheamus and traveled with the company to Europe for the overseas tour. It wasn't too long until everyone figured out that something was wrong with the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and he was sent home. He hasn't competed inside a WWE ring since. While Bryan has appeared on WWE programming, doing interviews and acting as a judge during the 2015 season of WWE Tough Enough, not many details have surfaced regarding his situation. Many backstage, including WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart, have stated there is no way Bryan will ever wrestle full-time again. He just doesn't know it yet. The report claimed that Bryan said the following on the radio station, and I quote, "Battleground, I'm not so sure. To be honest, I don't really have time for the current product apart from NXT. Fans should focus on what's important and not hold on to my name." That's in reference to them still acknowledging me. I only do Tough Enough, and Tough Enough should be about Tough Enough and not me. It's about those young men and women who want a future in this company. For those waiting for my return, I appreciate it, but let's focus on what's going on right now. I've had my time, and it's over, so it seems, but there's an abundance of talent on the main roster for them to pay attention to. Just let it go. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know, Bryan, that's a lot to say. You know, I really don't know the entire story about this. I don't see why Reddit users and fans, several reports going out, stating that Daniel Bryan was on a radio show talking about WWE and his current status. Obviously, anybody is going to be listening to that. They're going to get it to the proper people who report the news. So, I think Bryan did say this, and I think now he is just pretty much going back on what he said because he doesn't want to worry too many people. He doesn't want to get it out there that his career might be over. My honest opinion about this is that Bryan will be back. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know, who he's going to come back against. I don't know where he fits into WWE plans right now. But I do think Bryan will be back. I do want to see him back because I love watching the man wrestle. Simple as that. I just love watching the man wrestle. I love watching him perform. I love how the crowd reacts and is completely behind Daniel Bryan. Like I've always stated for several months, he is easy to cheer for, man. He's like one of us. He's a hard-working guy. His journey to the top is one of a hard-working individual who did not stop. He's just like us, man. You go out there and you work and bust your ass and you get nowhere. Daniel Bryan felt that way until one moment in time when WWE and its fans just completely made him into a supernova of a superstar. And WWE had no opportunity. They had no chance, to ignore this. Everything that they did to just ignore it just failed because the fans kept getting louder and louder and louder until they had to put Daniel Bryan in the main event at WrestleMania 30. Batista won the Rumble. Fans were outraged. Occupy Raw. Triple H versus Daniel Bryan to kick off WrestleMania, and then he goes on and beats the entire, the entire faction of Evolution. It's fucking unbelievable, man. Daniel Bryan was given the keys to the kingdom, man, and WWE made him look so great and all that. It's just that he's just caught a string of bad luck with his father passing away. He got married. He finds out the devastating news after his honeymoon. He got stripped of the world title. Comes back in the Rumble. Gets eliminated in fucking 2 minutes. Wins the IC title at WrestleMania. And then is stripped of that because he's out with injury yet again, man. It's a tough industry. I think Bryan did say these things, but now is retracting them to pretty much kind of fan the flames a little bit. But I do think Daniel Bryan will be back in the WWE. I just don't know when. But I do agree with him. Fans should just pay attention to what's going on with the main roster right now. Don't make it about Daniel Bryan. When he comes back, then at that moment in time, we can give Daniel Bryan the adulation and the fucking cheers and the love and all this good feeling just aiming at him, man, when he comes back. But right now, I agree with him. It's about the Kevin Owens. It's about the Finn Balors. It's about the Charlottes, the Sasha Banks. It's about the Rusevs, the Cesaros, the Zigglers, the Rollins, the Reigns, the Ambrose. It's about those guys right now, man. These are the guys that are going to take this company to the next level when there's no John Cena, when there's no Triple H, when there's no Undertaker, you know? This is the future, and hopefully Bryan is a part of that going forward. I do think he will be back with the WWE. Speaking of the future, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks, man, beasts. Beautiful women, but they are legit beasts in the WWE, man, most notably NXT. New reports have provided an update on why WWE chose July 13th to bring up NXT Divas to the main roster during Monday Night Raw, all right? They have all been brought up to the main roster to shake up the Divas division. While plans for such a move have been in place for some time, WWE officials originally wanted to wait closer to SummerSlam on August 23rd to begin bringing up NXT women. However, according to PWInsider.com, plans were changed to bring them up all earlier and all at once due to the hype surrounding the USA women's soccer team winning the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup recently. WWE had Lynch, Banks, and Charlotte backstage at Raw on July 6th, but decided to hold off on their debut until July 13th during a segment where Divas champion Nikki Bella and her sister Brie and Alicia Fox, collectively known as Team Bella and the Bella Army, were cutting a promo. Stephanie McMahon made her way down to the ring to bring out the up-and-coming NXT superstars. WWE officials were said to be ecstatic about the segment as the WWE Universe went crazy for it. The team of Naomi, Tamina Snuka, and Banks, who are calling themselves Team Bad, best at dominating, along with the team of Lynch, Charlotte, and Paige, are set to feud with Team Bella as officials believe that the Divas division has turned a corner and that the influx of new talent will be an incredible shot in the arm for success of the Divas division. Now, Jim Ross also had his 2 cents to chime in, not only on Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, but the Divas division as well. In his most recent blog on his official website, jrsbarbecue.com, WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross says the only thing that can hurt the Divas division now is old school thinking from WWE management, which likely means WWE CEO Vince McMahon more than anything else. Ross made the comments on the cusp of the highly praised main roster debut of NXT Women's Champion Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte during Monday Night Raw from Atlanta on July 13th. Ross, who knows McMahon's thought process about the Divas division, or at least his old school thinking on the subject, probably better than most, writes the following about the surge of talent to the Divas roster and how it can be a positive if negative connotations don't get in the way. And I quote, "Interesting Raw Monday night from Atlanta, as the new females from NXT had more people talking on my timelines than anyone else on the show, including the combatants for the WWE World title. Sarah Del Rey has done an amazing job of training and coaching the women who passed through NXT. Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch should be stalwarts for years to come in the WWE, and I see no reason why they cannot move to the top or near the top of primary WWE events sooner than later. It's a sign of the times and a changing of the guard, not unlike the days of Jenny Finch putting women's softball on the map or Ronda Rousey becoming a megastar in UFC. The only thing that can hold these women back is old school thinking and not being willing to take a chance on adding something new to the top of the cards. McMahon's view of the Divas division has been a very open subject to debate, as it has been reported on numerous occasions that he has views on the women involved in the division, nothing more than eye candy, not talent that can draw money and ratings. So McMahon thinks that many of the divas, even now in today's product, are nothing more than eye candy with no talent that can draw money or ratings. However, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have been said to be pushing for a change in the way WWE's women are presented on television. This came on the fringe of the Give Divas a Chance movement on social media, where fans begin to see the quality of NXT superstars such as Banks, Lynch, and Charlotte and Bayley And they were cranking out great matches and were pushed for the main roster to adopt some of the same mentality. Even McMahon himself replied to the hashtag once it trended worldwide for over 24 hours on Twitter, replying with, "We hear you, hashtag give Divas a chance," which is a rare occasion for McMahon to address the fans in that fashion on social media. Divas matches were lasting all of 3 minutes, and their characters were flipping back and forth between babyface and heel with no real direction. McMahon reportedly told his writing staff that this is because there are no heels or faces in the Divas division. Former writer Kevin Eck revealed that McMahon had told writers to consider all the women competing in the division as flippant and catty, and that they can flip back and forth, blaming women being emotional as the foundation of the thought. Fuck that. Fuck that, man. You know, it really bothers me, and I'm not going to harp on this too long because I did several videos in the past about this where I took a chunk of the time on Off the Script to talk about this. Jim Ross is right. McMahon cannot let the old school mentality get in the way of booking these women. These women are once-in-a-lifetime NXT superstars, man. You don't find many women like this that can engage a crowd. You don't find many women that can headline a crowd down at NXT and have everybody solely pay attention to them and nothing else, man. Sasha Banks and Charlotte, most notably on the most recent edition of NXT. These women can close a pay-per-view. These women can close an NXT Takeover event, man. These women can close a Monday Night Raw if given the proper storyline, all right? They are not eye candy. Yes, they're all beautiful women, granted. But the most important thing that they're there to do is wrestle. And all 3 of them, including Bayley, not a fan of her character, but all 4 of them can fucking wrestle. And that's what we want to see. That's where the change comes in. Triple H and Stephanie know that they have prime talent with females in NXT and now debut them on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw needs this type of talent. Now it's up to the writers to fucking book these women in solid storylines where you and I actually give a shit. McMahon cannot go back on what he has done with these women, man. It would be not only a waste of time to Triple H and everybody who's worked so hard to get them where they belong right now, and all the work that went into it down at NXT, but it will be a slap to the face of Triple H and what he has groomed NXT to be. These women need to be showcased. These women need to be cared for as superstars, man. They are superstars. And they need to be given 10, 15 minutes to go, man. They need engaging storylines. They're not eye candy. You know, they are talent that can draw. Obviously, they can draw. Okay? People care about them down at NXT. Did you see the reaction that they got on Monday Night Raw, man? Everybody was hot for it. They know who these women are. McMahon cannot get in the way of booking the women's division anymore, man. There needs to be a massive change. Women need to be showcased just like the men are on WWE TV, man. They need engaging storylines. They need shit that matters. Whatever the men are doing, the women need, man. However you're booking the men, book the women the same way because you don't have fucking, you know, unattractive women who can't wrestle, man. You got beautiful women who know what to do inside the squared circle. Fucking do it. And it's all up to Vince McMahon, man. It really is. Right now, you have all the talent in the world, you know? Great. It's not a revolution yet. You can't be calling this a revolution yet because simply of Vince McMahon. The one thing that's going to bring this division down again to the point where it is before these women debuted is Vince McMahon and not giving a shit. You know, you need to book these women correctly. Otherwise, their debut will be fucking wasted. That's all I got to say about that, man. Women's wrestling is here. I hope it stays. And I hope Triple H and Stephanie really give these women time to shine and engaging storylines to the point where you and I can get invested every single week in what they're doing, man. I can't wait to see what happens. McMahon's got to stay away. Jim Ross has the right idea about that. You guys have been asking me about Cody Rhodes. Following the untimely death of his father, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, a.k.a. Stardust, took some time away from the ring to be with his family during such a difficult time, which is obviously understandable. The former WWE IC champion made his return during the July 13th edition of Monday Night Raw, defeating Neville in the final bout of the night. Several fans were upset to see Cody Rhodes sticking with the Stardust gimmick, as many feel the 30-year-old should drop the character altogether as a tribute to his late dad. Cody's wife, WWE ring announcer Brandi Runnels, recently wrote a blog post concerning the matter, which you can read. I don't know if I can find, I don't know where it's located, but if I can find it, I'll post it down in the description below. Not to be outdone, Cody also chimed in via his personal and protected Twitter account, saying how he's thankful WWE never looked at exploiting Dusty's death to push Stardust or Cody further. So, you know, a lot of fans, including me, they were hard on the Stardust gimmick. I understand why Cody wants to do the Stardust gimmick and he wants to see it, you know, ride along into the sunset and play it out completely before a decision is made. I respect that. That's commendable. The man's father passed away. Let him do what he wants to do. He's there to entertain everybody. I think the WWE fans, including me at times, need to kind of take a step back and think about what we say sometimes. I know I was one of the first guys to lobby. Take the fucking gimmick away. Drop the gimmick. It sucks. Goldust is not there anymore. You know, I don't see it going anywhere. It's nothing but a mid-card gimmick for life. Cody Rhodes should just go back to being Cody Rhodes or dashing or whatever. Put him in the IC Championship. He's got a lot to give the division. He's got a lot to give the roster. Great talent. But if he wants to do the Stardust gimmick and he wants to ride this out and see how it goes in memory of his father, you know, God bless him, man. God bless him, and that's very commendable from Cody Rhodes. So that's something I can definitely get behind and definitely respect. So let me know what you guys think about that one. You guys were excited about this one. WWE has announced that the international professional wrestling legend Jushin Thunder Liger will compete at NXT Takeover Brooklyn on August 22nd, which I tried to get tickets for, by the way, yesterday, and they were sold out in literally fucking 10 seconds before I even went into my fucking pants to get my wallet on Ticketmaster.com. They were sold out. I can't get to NXT Brooklyn. I can't get to Takeover. You got to go to StubHub, where the fucking prices are inflated 5 times more than what they should be. Fuck you, man. I know Ticketmaster sold them motherfuckers to StubHub to fucking inflate the prices. It's bullshit, man. People like me and all the general public got last dibs, and it fucking sucks. I wanted to be at NXT, but I'm not spending $600 for tickets, man. I'm just not. I'd rather sit at home in the comfort of my own home on my 55-inch Sony with a fucking 6-pack, enjoying it, talking about it, reviewing it after the show. That's what I think I'm going to do. Liger is set to face off in his first WWE match against Tyler Breeze. Man, it's going to be a fucking amazing match. Unbelievable. An NXT Championship match between Finn Balor and Kevin Owens is also set to take place at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which will be the first NXT TakeOver special to take place outside of Full Sail University, man. A lot of people are saying this is done as a political way to kind of stick it to Ring of Honor. But whatever the case may be, man, Jushin Thunder Liger is competing at NXT TakeOver, and it's going to be fucking amazing, man. Just another piece to the puzzle that's going to make SummerSlam weekend 2015 all that more memorable, man. It's going to be fucking awesome, and I can't wait for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn on August 22nd. Now, finally, guys, weird rumor going around that I know Clownsview Entertainment reported. I tried to track it down, but I don't really believe it. It's just something to garner views, typical. But what I found is, obviously we all know The Undertaker is going to be at Battleground. He's going to be at Monday Night Raw. He's rumored to be at SummerSlam, returning for a match at SummerSlam. But a lot of people are speculating, even today, you know, months in advance, who The Undertaker is going to be going for at WrestleMania. The Undertaker returned to his winning ways at this year's WrestleMania when he defeated Bray Wyatt. However, the match against Wyatt wasn't the match that everyone wanted to see, as Sting had finally signed with the WWE late last year, and WWE fans have been dying to see Undertaker take on Sting for well over a decade, and unfortunately, it looks like we may never see that matchup unless Vince McMahon changes his mind. So the question is now, who will The Undertaker take on at next year's WrestleMania? John Cena has been rumored as a possible opponent for the Phenom over the last couple of years, and it's a match a lot of people would love to see. And there is a possibility that Cena ends up being The Undertaker's retirement match before The Undertaker calls it quits. Now it's rumored that someone else could end up taking on The Undertaker at WrestleMania 32, and that someone is none other than the man that John Cena is feuding with right now, Kevin Owens. Right now, WWE is very high on Owens, and he's done nothing but deliver since his main roster call-up. And as long as he keeps doing so, WWE will have no other choice but to put him in one of the big matches at next year's WrestleMania. And it arguably doesn't get any bigger than The Undertaker's match at WrestleMania. Some would argue that The Undertaker's match at this past year's WrestleMania didn't have that heat that it once did due to the streak being broken. But there's no one who can argue against the fact that The Undertaker is still a big attraction. If Kevin Owens ends up facing The Undertaker at next year's WrestleMania, he'll likely be the favorite to win, as it's been rumored for a long time now that The Undertaker will retire after WrestleMania 32. So, if WWE adds a retirement stipulation to the match, then Owens will be thought of as the guy who retired The Undertaker, which could end up making him the most hated man in the WWE, even more hated than Brock Lesnar was after he ended the streak. Of course, there are other names being tossed around as potential WrestleMania opponents for The Undertaker. One is the current WWE Champion Seth Rollins, who would be an excellent opponent for the Phenom. We're about 9 months away from WrestleMania 32, so there's still plenty of time for Vince McMahon to reconsider putting The Undertaker against Sting in a double retirement match at the event, but that seems extremely unlikely at this point in time. A lot of people talking about not only The Undertaker at this year's SummerSlam and Battleground tonight, but as always, WrestleMania, man. A lot of people are wanting this Sting match. A lot of people are wanting The Undertaker to retire with Sting, double retirement, both men going to the Hall of Fame next year. John Cena would have made sense years ago with the WWE title on the line and the streak on the line. That ship has sailed. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Kevin Owens, that could be a fantastic idea, and have Owens retire The Undertaker. That would make Kevin Owens more than any title can ever make Kevin Owens. Really. Beating The Undertaker and retiring The Undertaker at WrestleMania, even though the streak is over, just retiring The Undertaker forever, that would be more to Kevin Owens than any title in the WWE, period. But everybody still wants to see Sting. And take this all with a grain of salt, guys. A lot of people talking about WrestleMania. Vince McMahon and WWE, you know, there's reports going around that WWE has the matches, or the 6 or 7 matches for WrestleMania, the big ones, all set in stone right now. There's a solid idea of what Vince wants to do. Listen, it's July. Vince is going to go back and forth, fucking 1,000 times before WrestleMania. So don't believe anything regarding The Undertaker. A lot of the stuff really starts to pick up, and we have a more solid idea of what's going on when the Royal Rumble comes around. So right now, everything you hear about WrestleMania, take it with a grain of salt, unless it's reported by a Dave Meltzer or a Mike Johnson or someone who is very, very credible in the internet community, man. So just take it with a grain of salt, like I said, with The Undertaker when it comes to WrestleMania. That is Off the Script, guys. Thank you so much for watching me. Hit that thumbs up if you did enjoy. Make sure to visit ProWrestlingTees.com for your official JD merchandise. Link is in the description. www.ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off the Script. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for tonight's big Battleground pay-per-view at JD from NY206. Leave me a comment down below, and I will see you all later tonight right here on my channel for the official review of WWE Battleground, man. Until then, take care, and I'll see you guys tonight for Lesnar, Rollins, WWE World Heavyweight Championship with The Undertaker possibly returning tonight, as well as Sting, man. It's going to be a great night. Join me later. I'll talk to you guys later.